Hello, everyone. Welcome to Shenanigans, or welcome back to Shenanigans. Either way, we're so happy to have you. Now, we just finished episode 3, and the central points were a wedding and new babies. And normally, episodes like that you'd think would be more lighthearted and fun. But in my opinion, this episode was very heavy, all things considered, and I'll be explaining why. And there's other things to talk about, of course. So if you're interested, let's get started. So the episode starts with a vague description of an event that is going on. It's actually Logan and Michelle's wedding, but for privacy reasons, they're being respectful and not showing him on camera and not saying his name. And so it's each of the, ex-wives and Cody talking about how they're feeling about running into each other. Christine, Janelle seem a little nervous. Cody, of course, is saying he wasn't even sure if they were going to go because he doesn't want to deal with the hate and all the trash talking about him. Whatever, it's your son's wedding, go. And then Robin mentioned she's nervous about wanting to include Solomon and Ari. I don't know if they even went to the wedding, but I will touch back on this later in the video. And they all say the last time that they were together at a wedding and really a big family event was Aspen and Mitch's wedding. And they all agree that it was beautiful. Everyone had a good time. Everyone was getting along. And that their family is no longer the way they were at this wedding. Nobody's really talking. They'll say, hi, love you, and then just kind of go on about their day. Now, the wedding was not filmed, but we got to see the reactions of what happened after. Janelle said that she didn't really speak to Cody. They said hi, and it was really awkward, and that was the most of it. Mary said she wasn't sure if she was, how people were going to take to her, but said that there were people that did embrace her. I think Christine said she had a good time despite the awkwardness. In true Cody fashion, he had to make it all about him and his feelings of betrayal, that him and Robin just kind of sat in a corner, quote, probably due to their safety, whatever that means, and said that some of the family looked like they were trying to have more fun than he was. I just can't get over how he can literally take any situation and make it all about him. Robin did say a few of the family members did hug her and she embraced them back. She said even Gabe told her he loved her and she said it back. I'm not sure if any or all of her kids went. I know that the wedding, there was photos posted on social media a couple years ago when the wedding actually happened. As we know, TLC is not great at being on time with the timelines. They're always so far behind. But yeah, they had to take the wedding and make it sound like this somber event, which from what I saw, it looked like it was beautiful. It looked like people were having a great time despite what Cody and Robin made it out to be. Next, we briefly touch base on where things are at between Cody and Mary and Cody and Janelle. He says he and Mary are broken up, but adds, I think, which I'm not sure what there is to think about. I don't know how they can be more broken up than they are. He's obviously living his life with Robin. I don't think him and Mary even talk to each other. She's doing her thing at her B&B. So not sure why he said that, but said that he hopes that they could be friends rather than, what did he say, have another enemy right now because of the way things are between him and Christine and him and Janelle. It's more hostile and he hopes to not have that with Mary. But I think in order to do that, he would have to talk to her, but also be honest with her and treat her like you would treat a friend. You treat him like a decent human being, but he does not do that. He says that he and Janelle have not reconciled and he does not know why they can't reconcile. Janelle makes a comment that for a period there, she was having to even remind him that he needed to come stay at her house. And he would even make the excuse that he was too tired. And she said, you can rest or whatever at my house, just like the way you would at Robin's house. So I just can't believe this stuff is going on. And he's telling these women, basically finding any excuse to not be at their house. And then he looks to us and wonders why things are the way they are, why the wives left him, and the delusion is real. Next, we're at Cody and Robin's house with all their kids. Looks like they're having a game night and eating fancy caramel apples. And Cody makes a point to say that what he has with Robin and their kids is an experience. And, they do this regularly during the summer. They play, the girls do music, and this is just how they live. And what bothered me is, I think it was a couple seasons ago, when Christine was talking about how he is when he is with her and their kids, he doesn't really participate in what they're doing. He's just on his phone and says he doesn't have time to play like she does. But then here he is saying at Robin's house, all they do is play pretty much. So I hope that's brought up at the tell-all, but who knows. And Robin makes a comment about how she's not sure how to tell Solomon and Ari, about their siblings, why there's no pictures up of them. When they ask her, why aren't they at my birthday party? Are they coming for this holiday? No, not this time. Because she doesn't know how to answer those types of questions. And what confused me is here she is saying she isn't sure about what to tell them due to the state of the family, and acts like they don't know who their siblings are. But then here they are asking, where are they? Are they coming? And then when they were invited to the wedding they just went to, she wasn't sure whether or not to include them. So which is it, Robin? I can't decide if I think she's severely delusional or she's just that bad of a liar that she can't keep track of her lies. Either way, I don't really know which is worse at this point, because she's acting like a victim and keeping her kids away from their siblings, but then wonders why things are the way they are. I do not understand it at all, and I can't make sense of it. Mary says that when Robin and her kids joined the family, there was conflict, and made it sound like, just it was normal due to a big change like that. Robin says Mary was very welcoming, whereas the rest of the family struggled to accept her and her kids. But Janelle said that they didn't like going to Robin's because they would get scolded if they opened the fridge without asking. And Christine said her kids didn't like going to Robin's because they could see a difference between how Cody was with Robin and how he was with her. And Cody says that when the original three wives came together, that time period was very difficult. But when Robin and her kids joined the family, it was a lot easier. Then Cody tells us that at one point, Ari made a comment where she said, I don't like Christine. She left Dad. I don't like her. And according to Cody, he says that he tried to correct her and say, you don't know her well enough yet to not like her. But then also admits he saw it as a sign of loyalty, which is so bizarre considering she's a small child. And what is she listening to in their house for her to come up with that she decides that she doesn't like Christine? And so he basically admitted that goes on in their house, while at the same time he's saying Christine and Janelle badmouth him and Robin to their kids. So that's a little hypocritical there. And he says there would be times where he would leave or try to leave, and Ari would pull on his leg saying, Daddy, don't leave me. And he would say, Robin, I need you to pull her off of me. And Robin would say, no, she's expressing herself. You need to give her 5 minutes. And to me, this kind of affirms my assumption that I just felt for a while that Robin never really sat down with her kids to explain polygamy and how it works. because if you think about it, when she joined the family, they had only lived a monogamous lifestyle. They didn't really have to live polygamy because they always lived in separate houses. Cody was at their house majority of the time, and Ariella was born into it where things were already kind of separate. So I've always felt that Robin never told her kids that, daddy has to go to this mom's house and this mom's house and see these kids, because otherwise, why would they have such a hard time with him ever having to leave? And Janelle says that her kids were always used to it. If Cody had to leave, they knew why. They were okay with it. They're adjusted. And Robin said just because Ari had a hard time with it, it does not mean she prevented Cody from going, which I'd say that's debatable, but that's just my opinion. And Cody also alluded to this idea that he hopes one day him and his kids will all work things out. And what I don't understand is his whole stance on the phone works both ways, and he admits he doesn't reach out to the kids and vice versa. So is he living in some fantasy land where he thinks one day the kids are just going to wake up and call him and say, hey, we'd like to see you. We'd like to get together and forget everything that happened. Like, that was such a weird statement to me because it doesn't make any sense. And Robin, of course, has to add that she's going through her own depression and her own mourning, and said it's weird to see Cody smile because of everything going on with the family. So again, I am so confused. Would she rather him be angry and taking it out on her, or does she want him to be happy when he's around her and her kids? So I swear I'm getting such a bad headache and whiplash just from this single episode alone. Next, Mykelti is at her doctor's appointment and Christine is there with her. Her doctor is actually Dr. Bean, who is the same doctor that delivered Truly. And we learn that she will have to have a C-section because one of the twins is breached. And Mykelti's not thrilled about it. She would prefer a natural birth, but ultimately agrees that she would rather go with whatever is safe. And then Dr. Bean brings up about the awkward questions back when Christine was giving birth to Truly, and Cody is asking him about in vitro and Mary's infertility, and he just thought it was odd that here you have one wife in labor and then you're asking about another wife's fertility issues. Christine says it was fine, but I'm sure for the rest of us, we can agree that was maybe a little bit inappropriate. So the night before Mykelti's scheduled C-section, she and Tony are talking with Christine and some of the sisters about what she thinks she can expect. Apparently, the doctor said that they could put a mirror down so that she could actually watch her C-section. And Christine is all for it. Mykelti seems all for it. As a mom of two C-section babies, I wanted nothing to do with seeing all that go on. I wouldn't even look at the tools surrounding me. So, I mean, kudos to her if she can handle that. But yeah, she seems excited, happy, but also wishes she could go natural. But this is the way it's got to be. And she's telling Aspen, this is the last time you're going to see me pregnant. So they're all just getting ready for her to give birth the next day. And Janelle says that she felt the need to defend Mykelti because the public seems to have a negative opinion on Mykelti's positive relationship with Robin, and says that, the kids shouldn't be denied having a relationship with Cody and Robin if that is what they want. And Mykelti tells us that when Robin came into the family, Robin was there for her. She made her feel seen and loved, and you can tell she's holding back tears a little bit. And I am also someone who is not a big fan of Robin and Mykelti's relationship, but at the end of the day, if that is what Robin was for her, then who am I to say that she shouldn't have any kind of positive relationship with her? I don't know where that stands today, but I'm glad that Mykelti did have someone there for her. I can't imagine growing up in a house with that many kids and all that chaos going on. It had to be hard. And the next day at the hospital, they were getting McKelty ready to go, giving her epidural, and her heart rate went up and she was shaking, feeling really anxious. And the only thing that was able to calm her down was seeing Tony. Been there, done that, totally get where she's coming from. Um, they had to, they said they put him in a full suit and mask and got him all ready to go. Um, the baby's birth went well. Their names are Archer and Ace, two little boys. They are fraternal. McKelty said everything was great, and when they wheeled her out, she could hear Christine and Robin and Aspen's voices, and they wheeled her off into recovery. And Robin talks about how she of course had to make it all about her, said that, she loved holding the babies. Her and Christine held one of each and everything was fine. But then she said, she wishes they were together under different circumstances. And in that moment, she could forget everything that was going on, but was still reminded that the family is still not like it was. So then they finally bring the babies home. Looks like it was just going to be obviously Tony and McKelty. Avalon was at home with Tony's mom, and Aspen and Robin helped bring the babies home. Avalon at first didn't seem sure what her reaction was. She went to touch the babies, and Robin had to kind of tell her to be gentle. And they noticed that Avalon seemed a little stressed out. Naturally, her world was just turned upside down, doesn't know who these babies are, and is still getting used to it. But you could tell McKelty looked exhausted and probably needed all the help she could get. Christine spent the first night in the hospital with her, and then Robin would be spending some time at their house with them to help her out. And then when Robin planned on going home, Christine would then take over and help. Sounded like, a good thing. As far as, everything else, Christine made a comment about, it was awkward and she doesn't know when the family will get together again, but for her personally, it's not something she plans on doing anytime soon. And that concludes episode 3. Looks like next week will be Thanksgiving. Looks like everybody will be separate again. I'm not sure what Mary's plans are because she pointed out how Cody made the comment about having to hold back his affection for Robin when she was around. And she doesn't want to, you know, be the third wheel again, I guess. So I guess we'll see what happens there. Robin also gets in Cody's face a little bit, saying his kids need him. He should be camping out on their porches. And we'll see where that conversation goes. Yeah, like I said, this episode felt a little heavy, even though it was about weddings and childbirth. But I guess that's to be expected when their state of the family is in such turmoil. What did you guys think of the episode? What did you think about them and the whole wedding debacle? What are your thoughts on how each of the adults reacted to the wedding? What are your thoughts about Kelty finally giving birth to twins? I think her twins are over a year and a half now. I'm not totally sure. So it's funny seeing them finally being born, but hopefully TLC will catch up. What are your thoughts on how Christine and Robin were, the awkwardness of it all? I found myself mad at Robin for I think the first half of the episode, and then the second half, I felt myself defending her a little bit. I'm glad she was able to willing to help McKelty despite everything going on. Um, I hope her intentions are pure. I know a lot of people feel she's doing it to get under Christine's skin. I'm not totally sure where I stand on that, but I guess we'll learn more in the near future. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like, a comment, maybe share it. And please consider subscribing if you haven't already. We go live every Thursday evening. We do game nights. We have been exploring crazy state laws. We throw in a random red carpet roast here and there because we like to have fun around here. So once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.